Canning Muscadine grape juice with Holly's Half Acre.
Okay, right now I'm trying to get some things ready. I'm boiling water and sterilizing my canning jars. And then here are my grapes.
This was my first time ever canning, and I highly underestimated how much prep work it would be for me the first time. I didn't realize how long it would take for the canner to come to a boil. So I spent quite a bit of time of boiling water. And I'm using muscadine grapes that a friend gave me from her backyard. I'm using the Presto canner, and I'm only water bath canning today. I'm not doing the pressure canning. I realized after I did this canning that I was using the tool wrong to pick up the jars. It was really hard using it this way to get them. They kept slipping. Once all my jars are ready, I'm going to start adding the ingredients. This is super simple. All I need to do is add a cup or more of grapes to each quart jar. Next, I'm going to add sugar. I'm adding a quarter cup of regular sugar to each jar of juice. Next, I'm going to fill all the jars with boiling water. I'm using a glass measuring cup to scoop the water out of a pot and filling the jars. Now I'm using this handy little tool to measure my headspace to leave a 1/2 inch headspace in each jar. I'm not very spatially oriented, so this little tool is a great help for me. Now I'm taking a damp paper towel and I'm wiping the top of each jar to wipe off any debris and check the jars for cracks. This way nothing will be on the jars that will prevent a seal. I'm pulling out the jar lids and the rings from the hot water. I've never done this before, so I didn't realize that I wouldn't be able to use the magnet tool to reach them all the way at the bottom of this big pan. So I had to get creative and use these tongs to hold the magnet stick to get them out. You can see I'm having a little bit of trouble. After I get the lid and the ring on each jar, you're going to finger tighten the jar. You don't want to put it on super tight, but enough to hold the lid on. Now that I have all my jar lids on, I'm going to use this tool. Again, I'm using it incorrectly to load all my jars into my canner. I can fit 7 jars at a time. I have all my jars in the canner. I'm going to bring the canner to a boil and then boil for 20 minutes. Here are my finished jars. I ended up being able to do a second batch of 5 more jars for a total of 12 quart jars of muscadine grape juice. You can see the color of the water is already starting to turn to a purplish red color. I'm going to leave these sit in a cupboard for at least a month. I've read that the longer you leave them, the more developed the flavor is. I chose to do this to make it easier where I didn't have to smash the grapes. Then I waited for my jars to start pinging, and yes, they all sealed. So, success. Hopefully I'll get better at canning and more confident with it over time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.